What if I told you that every time you send cryptocurrency, you're not actually moving coins from one place to another? Instead, you're destroying old money and creating new money. Welcome to the world of UTXOs, the backbone of Decred transactions. In Decred, new coins enter circulation through mining. When a miner successfully mines a block, they trigger what's called a coin-based transaction. Think of this as the network's money printer. It creates 21 million DCR over time, with each coin divisible into 100 million atoms. Here's where it gets interesting. Miners only keep 1% of newly minted coins plus transaction fees. 5 stakeholders per block get 89%, and the Decred treasury receives 10%. This creates the first UTXOs, unspent transaction outputs that form the foundation of all future transactions. A UTXO is like a digital bill in your wallet. Just like you can't spend half a $20 bill, you can't spend part of a UTXO. You must spend the entire amount and receive change back as a new UTXO. Your wallet balance isn't a single number stored somewhere. It's the sum of all UTXOs you control. Each UTXO is locked to your address and can only be spent with your private key. The true cost of transactions. Here's a crucial point. Decred transaction fees aren't based on how much you send. They're based on transaction complexity. The default rate is 10 atoms per byte. But what determines the size? Each input costs about 148 bytes, 1,480 atoms. Each output costs about 34 bytes, 340 atoms. Transaction overhead adds 10 to 20 bytes. So a simple transaction with one input and two outputs costs around 2,260 atoms, regardless of whether you're sending 1 DCR or 1,000 DCR. Real-world example. Alice buys a guitar. Let's see this in action. Alice has 2 DCR in a single UTXO from mining rewards. She wants to buy Bob's guitar for 1 DCR. Alice can't just send 1 DCR. She must spend her entire 2 DCR UTXO. The transaction creates 2 new UTXOs. 1 DCR goes to Bob. The remainder goes back to Alice as change. But wait, Alice needs to pay the miner fee first. With 1 input, 148 bytes, and 2 outputs, 68 bytes, plus 10 bytes overhead, that's 226 bytes total. At 10 atoms per byte, the fee is 2,260 atoms, or 0.00002260 DCR. So Alice actually needs to send 1.00002260 DCR total. Her change UTXO becomes 0.99997740 DCR. After the transaction, Alice's original 2 DCR UTXO is destroyed. Bob receives a new 1 DCR UTXO. Alice receives a new 0.99997774 DCR UTXO. The miner earns 0.00002260 DCR in fees. The UTXO model prevents double spending because once a UTXO is spent in a confirmed transaction, it's gone forever. This creates an unbreakable chain of ownership. Why this matters? Understanding UTXOs reveals why Decred scales efficiently. Transaction fees are predictable and based on complexity, not value. The model creates natural privacy boundaries and makes the entire system auditable. Next time someone claims blockchain transactions are just moving numbers between accounts, you'll know the elegant truth. We're constantly destroying and creating digital money, piece by piece, in a perfectly orchestrated dance of cryptographic security.